Jill with Angel Creations. Welcome to my craft room and a very happy Memorial Day to you. I'm not dressed for the occasion, unfortunately, but we are going to do a cute little tiered tray craft today. We're going to be needing 3 of these Dollar Tree trays, 2 Dollar Tree arrows. They look like this. We're going to be using the vinyl paper. I guess it's a dupe for the Cricut Joy vinyl. It looks like this. This one is a printed one. Excuse me. And if you don't have that, you can use scrapbooking paper to accomplish the same effect. But we're going to be using Dollar Tree vinyl today. And we may or we may not use some of these hinge stickers. Have not decided yet. And maybe a little paint too, to just zhuzh up a little outline. So that's what we're going to do today. So the first thing I want to do is deconstruct, take my jute string off and all the things, take the stickers off and clean up the wood. I hope everybody had a great day today. I'm sure everybody had cookouts and you know, it's that wonderful day to remember our service members that gave all, right? They certainly gave all. All right, I think I pulled that one out, so I'm going to try to just pull all of them out. I don't really have to pull the staple. The staple really won't be in our way. I just really want that jute out of there. So, okay, give it your all. And then both of these don't, okay, so then we're going to take off our sticky tags underneath our boxes, our Dollar Tree boxes, which are coming off really nice. Now, you have a choice. You can either stain these or paint them. I am going to use my Antique Waverly wax and stain mine. It just goes better with my decor. But by all means, go crazy with this. Outline it in one color and paint it in another color to match your scrapbooking paper or your vinyl, whichever you choose to use. You could use, this tag is going to give me a headache. You could use, you could also use, trying to think of the word, contact paper. You know, Dollar Tree sells contact paper in a whole bunch of different varieties, pretty varieties too now. Alright, so now that those are all cleaned up, I am just going to spray. So first of all, before I put my antique wax on my boxes, I want to sand it a tiny bit, and then I want to put my vinyl down on raw wood, because after that I want to zhuzh it up a little bit with antique wax anyway. So we'll do that when we accomplish getting this all painted. And I like to mist this with wood with water to make my stain go on easier. But we're going to put the vinyl down first. And this vinyl is so pretty. I don't have a Cricut Joy, and I wasn't sure if this was a dupe for the Joy, to be honest with you, but it seems as though people are thinking that it is. But this is the one that I picked. It's a beautiful floral. If you follow me, you'll have seen this on a Dollar Tree haul. I remember saying that you could use this for dollhouse wallpaper, which would be really cute. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to lay that on the inside, which happens to be perfect width. And I'm going to crease it. I'm just going to crease it with something like the scraper from the Dollar Tree will do, just so that when I take it out, I'll know where to cut it. Just giving it a little crease, almost cutting it with this little tool. And I'm going to need 3 of those because I want one to line each tray. Just cut 3 of those off. It smells so good. Everybody is cooking and barbecuing around us today. We haven't really done much. It's very, very hot. My kids do not live near me, and my roommate's kids are busy and working. One of them, well, her daughter works at a hospital, so it's, you know, not a holiday when you work at a hospital. All right, 1 more of these and this will be done. And like I said, you can always do this with scrapbooking paper, or you can do it with contact paper, or any of the vinyl that they sell at the Dollar Tree will work. But this is perfect. It couldn't fit any better. It just is the perfect width. So easy peasy and so pretty. So I'm making a 3-tiered tray, but you could use this for anything in your kitchen, anything in your bathroom. You could use it for anything on your desk. I'm just going to give this a quick little rough up, just so that we know that our sticky paper will stick good, because I haven't used this yet. This is my first time using this vinyl from the Dollar Tree. I've used the other Cricut vinyl from the Dollar Tree, but I'm not familiar with this one yet. The other one they called sticker paper. Are they calling that sticker paper? No, they're calling it vinyl paper. I did haul one that was in plain white, and they called that sticker paper. But it was in the same size roll. So, oops. So that'll do it. Just want to rough that up just a little bit, get that stuff out of there. And then we're just going to lay this down just like we would if we were going to lay down vinyl on any other surface. We got to find the start of it here. That's always the hard part. Alright, and I'm just going to put it down in the front and lay it down as I push it back. Easy peasy. Let's take our little Dollar Tree scraper and scrape that down nice and smooth. And there we have it. There's one. I'm going to go ahead and put the other couple of ones down, and we will be right back. Okay, we have them all lined, and now I'm going to spray it with water, and we are going to just, you can paint it. I'm just going to put mine on with Antique Waverly Wax, like I said, because I just prefer that look in my home. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to just spray it a little bit. Just enough. And I'm doing all 4 of my sides and my bottom. And all the raw wood I'm going to be painting or staining. So I'm going to try to get the inside first. And I'm not going to be upset if I get a little of this on my paper down my lining, because I plan on going over that a little bit anyway with the Antique Waverly Wax anyway. So I'm doing that a little bit messy. It's farmhouse messy. Try to get these edges up here at the same time. And let's see, I can give you a look in a moment here. I don't know if you can see. I love Antique Waverly Wax. It just is so forgiving. It's amazing. It covers so well, and it really brings my project to life, I think. It brings it to my life. How's that? Because that's just my decor style. Alright, I'm trying to get the inside of those handles a little bit. Now I'm just going to try to get the top. And then I'm going to go down the sides. Getting the top. And then I am going to go down the sides. Like I said, I'm not really being fussy. I'm just slapping it on so we get that stained look. That farmhouse rustic look. Primitive, I call it. My style is a little bit deeper than farmhouse. Mine is definitely primitive, which the best way I could describe my decor is more antique-ish, or more not as much farmhouse as it would be Little House in the Prairie kind of idea is how I would describe primitive. Old and rustic and worn, and because we want it that way, you know, grandmother's old things. All right, now I'm just gonna re-wet the back of this because it dried a little bit, and we're almost done with this box. And then we'll just zhuzh up the wallpaper, or whatever we're gonna call this, the vinyl that we laid down inside. We're just gonna drag a little bit of antique wax over that. You know me, have to do it. Just have, oh, I forgot a whole side over here. How did I do that? Let's slap that on there real quick. Can't believe I forgot a whole side. All right. Just drag and neaten it up a little bit. Make sure we got all our sides. All right, now I'm gonna just drag my already wet brush just back and forth inside just a little bit so that it's not that bright, shiny white anymore. I'll let that dry, and I might even do another coat. So I'm gonna finish these and we'll be right back. Okay, my 3 boxes are finished, and they are still drying a little bit. And I went ahead, ooh, I just got stabbed. I went ahead and did the 2 inside pieces of the arrow as well. Those are the sides that have the staple in them. And I am going to be putting this on the outside of the arrow, but I want to outline my arrow with this pretty rose colored paint that kind of matches pretty much the roses in the vinyl. So I'm going to, this is a little tedious, so I might do a little of this off camera, but I want to show you what I'm going to do. So we already have one side stained. I'm going to be doing this little tiny piece along the outside edge because I want it outlined. And if I have to run off the side, I'm going to try to do it heavier on the side where my vinyl will go, but it's not like I can make a huge mess because it is white vinyl. So if I were to get too much of this rose colored paint on the other side of this, it would show through. So we just want to be very neat. Like I said, it's a little bit tedious. Of course, I love holding a paintbrush in my hand. Love it, love it, love it. It's just so therapeutic to me. So this is so enjoyable to me. Tedious or not, I love it. But for time's sake, I probably should do it not on camera, because then this gets to be an hour-long video. So let me show you what I have so far. I'm almost finished with this whole side. Okay, so see my outline? Just a little outline. I hope that is showing up on camera. But it is going to be beautiful once it's on with our rose gold. So I'm just going to do that for time's sake off camera and just put my fingers in that like an idiot. And then I'll be right back. You guys don't need to watch me paint. Okay, so now my outlines are done. So we have our insides. Whoops. Our insides are done, our edges are trimmed, our trays are done and dry, and now the fun part is we get to put this, well, first of all, we want to put our vinyl on the outside. So what we're going to do is we're just going to run that up from the bottom. So let me just cut and measure here. We're going to have to put just a tiny bit, let's see, on one of the little corners. That's it. The rest of it fits perfect. So I'm just going to trim it off right there at the top. And then we are just going to, oh, let's sand this just a tad before we add that, just to help that adhesive stay on. Just a little bit. Wipe it off. My bangs are getting long and they are driving me crazy. I don't know about you, but I hate to go to a hairdresser just to have my bangs cut. They charge so much money and all they do is cut my bangs. But I have to because if I cut them myself, I have smiley face bangs. They go like this. So my hair is driving me crazy today. I don't know if you can tell or not. Alright, so we're just going to start that at the very bottom and work our way up. And then we're just going to put this little corner, I'm going to trim it right here. And I'm just going to add this right here. Nobody's going to look and see if we matched our design. But actually I can match it a little bit right here. So why not do it? You still see it if you really, really look though. Alright, so now let's just rub this in with our Dollar Tree scraper. Making sure you get those edges good. Get all the bubbles out. Stuck it right down to my paper. And then I'm going to trim it a little bit with my scissors. And then, you know, well, actually, I don't want to sand it. You know why? I'm going to trim it really close because I don't want to really sand off. We might give it a little sanding, but I'm trimming it close because I don't want to sand off my pink paint. So I'm just going to do it, put my scissors on the edge, and I'm just going to go right down. Oh, that's not really giving me a close edge. So let me start up here. Whichever way you can trim this nice and close without your big fat hands in the way like mine. I'm going to have to sand that off a little bit. So just do your best trimming and then we'll sand the rest. Do your best and we'll sand the rest. Because I just can't, you know what you need? There's certain kind of scissors for this. I don't have them, of course. There's certain kind of scissors that are flat on one side, and so that you can trim without the scissor metal being in your way. Alright? Alright, so now if I can get that unstuck, I'm just gonna just going to give it a little bit of sanding. It is vinyl, so I'm just going to try to avoid my pink paint. Maybe if we go this way a little. Oh yeah, that's coming off nicely. We would have had to trim it off a little anyway. That's coming off nice. So that's how we'll get that effect. Trim that excess off. Trims it off so easily when you do it this way. You just have to be careful you don't get all that paint that we just painted. And it does stick because it's vinyl, it's not paper, so we have to peel a little of it. After I sand it, it's really good, but it's sticky. There we go. There's a good look-see. So this is our outside, this is our inside, and of course these are going to be in this way. You'll see in a minute. So let me cover this one now. Let's take we got a real good mess going on here. Terrible. All right. Oh my word. Let me get all this stuff off my fingers. Thank goodness I've already gone to Publix today, or I'd be going to Publix with this stuff all over me. I'm sure I would. All right, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to measure from the bottom up. I'm going to cut it, and we really only have like an inch or two to spare with this whole roll of vinyl. So we did 3 trays and 2 of the arrows, and we have approximately 2 inches left. That wasn't bad. Not bad. Alright, so now let's start this. Oh, let's give this side a little sanding so it holds our paper good. The last thing we want is our paper not holding onto our wood, our vinyl. Alright, let me start my vinyl down in the corner with my tweezers. I need to order myself a new pair of these because they're all bent and stuff at the tip because I'm so hard on them. Alright, I'm just going to start at the very bottom. I put that on a little bit crooked. Let me fix that. And this time I'm going to put a piece of wax paper underneath so I don't stick to my paper. And we're just going to run this vinyl right up the arrow. Just like we did on the last one. Rub that down, and then I'm just going to cut a little piece just to cover up. I'll show you how tiny, let me see if I can pick this up, a tiny, tiny piece we need to cover. That's it. A tiny little piece. So I am just putting a tiny little piece on it. And then we're going to rub it down with our little Dollar Tree scraper. Make sure that's on nice and secure. Making sure you get those edges really good. And then I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to trim off my excess and then sand it down, and I will be right back. Okay, get ready. Are you ready? Now we get to build it. So we have our inside and our 3 tiers. So I'm going to start with spacing. So I want to pick this little piece of vinyl off. So we have our, so let's start with this side, and I think that I don't want to slant mine. I was thinking of slanting them, but I think I would rather just stay stay not slanted. Alright, so I need to figure out my spacing though first. So I have to do my first one on the very bottom. Right? And then my top one, we have a choice. We can go all the way up, which we probably will do. Because if I put that one here, I kind of like that one there. So this is my spacing. So I'm leaving a little bit of the tip showing on my arrow. So I have, just for an exact measurement, in case anybody is wondering, I have about 3 inches between each one, each tier. I like that. And we're going to use hot glue and E6000 because we want this to be permanent. So I already have my spacing, so now I want to make sure that it's even in the front and in the back, you know, side to side. Oops, I moved it. And then I'm just going to mark it here with the pencil. I'm going to do the same with this. Well, nope, we're going to do one at a time. I'm going to do the bottom, and then I'm going to put on the top. And then I'm going to put on the bottom, next one, and the next one. So, I think I'm going to put some hot glue on this part, the wider part where my handle is, and then I'm going to put E6000 on the separate, skinnier part because I don't want the two to touch. So of course we're going to put our E6000 on first because that won't dry as fast. And then I'm going to put my hot glue because that'll hold right now. And I'm not using a wood glue or even a special wood glue. I'm just using what I have on hand. Hot glue, regular hot glue. And I'm just going to hold that down in place just until the hot glue takes. I put a little bit too much E6000. Let me put my cover on before that squirts out anymore. So once that is dry, I can clean that up with an X-Acto knife. And I'm going to skip ahead to the next one up, and that one is going to be, I'm going to use this, what do you call this, on my arrow. I'm going to just use that to guide, as a guide, to put my next line. You know what I mean. So I'm going to use that, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put some E6000, and not as much this time. And then I'm going to put my hot glue in the wider spot. And then again, using this as my guide, I'm just going to hot glue that right down. And that kind of gives me, it almost is perfect spacing, middle to middle, side to side. I'm just going to hold that in place. And so what the E6000 does is it gives it a more permanent hold. So that you can put something, you know, so you could put this in your bathroom with hair accessories, or you could put it in your kitchen with coffee pods, you know, K-cups, or you could put it in your bedroom with, or your desk. So it's, there's so many things we can do with this. It's pretty versatile, and I thought it would be a nice little addition to our little I'm going to be putting it, let me put a little bit more here. I'm going to be using it probably in my bedroom. And that's where I keep a lot of my hair ties and things anyway. So now we have to get this on straight so it matches. This is the hardest part. We want to make sure that this is even on both sides. And I'm eyeballing it as far as the middle goes. But I am trying to make sure it's all lined up this way, so that it is going to be straight. I'm holding that tight. This is really coming out cute. And then I'm gonna, while this is gluing, I'm gonna put my E6000 on each one of these little spots for our next piece. And then I don't know about you guys, but I will be ready for a hot cup of coffee after this craft. I don't know about you. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my hot glue on my bottom pieces underneath my handle, is what I'm saying, on my bottom of underneath my handle. And then we're just going to put this down on top. This way. Put this here. Put this here. This is so cute. I love this little wallpaper. I'm calling it wallpaper. I guess, like I said, I guess it is a dupe for the Cricut Joy. But looks like wallpaper for a dollhouse to me. But it is definitely cute vinyl for, I suppose you could use it in the Cricut Joy. I don't have a Cricut Joy. I just never felt like it, you know, if you don't have a machine and you want a cutting machine, Cricut Joy is probably not your first choice. A Cricut Joy is wonderful if you are already very experienced with the Cricut. And long time ago I used to want the Cricut Joy because I did the craft show fairs, the craft show circuit, and I wanted it at one point because I could do custom, you know, put their names on things right there and then. But I never did get it, and I'm just as happy now that I don't have it. I have the Cricut Maker, and I don't do craft shows anymore. It's just not worth it. All right, so look at this. Is our finished project. How cute is this? It's all lined. We have cobwebbies. Hold on, let me get the cobwebbies. Here's a side view, and then we have our nice addition. Now you could do this in turquoise or white. You could paint your wood white, and that would pop a little bit more. This is it, but I do want to put just a couple of little embellishments on the top here, or on the front I should say. So I have these stickers from the Dollar Tree. You get 14 pieces, and they have like hinges. You'll see once I put them on. So on the very bottom, I'm going to put these long hinges, and I'm going to put a little bit, actually it's very, very sticky, so I may not need, can't even get it off of here. I was going to put a little glue under it, but you know what? It's so sticky that I will only do that if they fall off. I will come back and put some. So I'm going to stick a hinge here on the bottom, and I'm going to put the matching one on the other side. Ooh, that came off better, but they are very, very sticky. Just trying to eyeball this. And then I'm going to put some smaller hinges on the next size up. which are going to be, which ones do I want? Oh, I think I will stick this next size up, and then they're going to get smaller as I go, but I do have more sheets, so I could put all the same if I wanted to, but I want to just give my thing a little added dimension. And then I have these corner pieces. Do I want to? No, I'm going to go with another hinge. I'm going to put this hinge on this side. And then I'm going to put this hinge right there. And I'm going to take a little, excuse me, get the hiccups a little here. I'm going to take a little dry brush of Waverly wax. Here we go. And I'm going to just dry brush over those so that they pop. Get the hiccups. That ought to help. Alright, so just a little dry brush is all I need. Dab it into our Waverly, and you can use any white. It doesn't have to be the chalk paint. I'm just going to get most of that right off my brush, and then I'm just going to brush in a little bit from the sides. A little bit from the sides, and a little bit from the sides up top. Giving those little, they look like metal, giving them a little dimension, making them pop just a little bit. Look how cute. Can you see that? On camera, look at how those popped. I hope you can see it. I'm going to give this a little bit more white. I like that look. Let's do a little bit more here and there all over the place just to give it a little dimension. And so give that a little zhuzh, a little zhuzh, a little zhuzh, 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 zhuzh. Whoops, too much zhuzh. Baby wipe. Alright, zhuzh. And I'm going to zhuzh the back as well. I like to come in from the sides. Takes a little bit of your paint off your brush. Kind of helps drag it. And there's the effect we're getting on the back. Just a little bit, and here is the front, just a little bit, and that is our finished product. Happy Memorial Day, everybody. I hope that you enjoyed making this craft with me as much as I enjoyed making this craft with you. And this is a great time to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this craft. Sharing is caring, so if you wouldn't mind sharing this with all your friends, family, and social media, that really helps my channel grow. And make sure that you're subscribed and ring that bell. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. And when you do, YouTube will let you know each and every time that I upload a new video, and you'll want to be notified and subscribe because our channel is growing. We're still in the baby stages, but God is getting us there, and you're helping, so thank you so much. And when we get up to 250 subscribers, we are going to do a giveaway, so make sure that you are subscribed. And until the next time that I see you, be good and do good. Bye now.